So we've got offensive actions, we've got defensive actions, or I like to say really more of like active defense rather than like just defensive stuff. Parry ripostes that way, right? We've got attacks, we've got parry riposte. What happens if you walked in to get a lesson and the coach says, okay, today we're going to work on counter ripostes. Now you're going to start to say, wow, what the heck? What does that mean? You know, you're going to stand there and go, okay, what's going to happen? You're waiting for him to give a cue. You know, you wonder what's going to go on, what's going to happen, right? So in the line of fencing terminology that we want, remember, the person who initiates his action, his offensive action first has the right of way. That's the attack, right? His opponent finds the blade, right? Pushes it out of line or knocks it out of line and answers with a riposte. That's the riposte. So we have the attack, the parry, riposte, right? So, or we have the attack, the parry, riposte. Now you parry again. The parry, counter riposte. Okay? So that means you parried again. So you go out to fence someone. Dave, help me out on this one for a minute. Let me get your map.
Yeah.
So you go out to fence someone, and I'm fencing Dave, and I fenced Dave before, and we've gone out and fenced at tournaments a lot, and I noticed one thing. When we go out to fence, Dave is a great defensive fencer. Anytime I attack, he does this, and he hits me with a parry riposte. And last time, I lost to him 5-0. I couldn't figure out what to do. He won't attack me. But every time I attack, he does this, and he hits me with a parry riposte. So I went back and I worked with the coach, and he said, you need to work on counter ripostes. I said, oh, okay, well, how do we do that? He says, well, this is what you have to do. You have to attack him first, right? Let him make a parry. This is your plan. You attack first, and you let him make the parry. Then you know when he comes back and hits, you have to find the blade again. Now you're going to hit him. So it's a trap, right? You're not trying to hit him with the first one, because you know if you did, this would happen. That happens all the time. So you say, okay, I'm going to fake him out. I'm going to pretend like I'm going to attack him. When he finds the blade and tries to hit me, I'll find the blade back, and then I'll hit him with a parry. Now I've got him. Now I found his weak point, because he does the same thing every single time. When you attack, you parry riposte, right? So I let him parry riposte, but I don't let him hit me. I find the blade, and I hit him back. So now I almost stepped it up a notch into the next level. Now I'm not using parry riposte, but I'm using parry counter riposte, right? Because it comes on the second one instead of the first one. Because I have a good parry riposte, but he won't attack me. I'm waiting to do this, but I can't get him to do that because he will never attack. All he waits for is for me to do this so he can hit me. So, I said, okay, if I can't get him to attack me at first, I'll attack him first, and when he parries, I'll find the blade again, and then I'll get him back. Now, we kind of ran that. So, the drill you're going to do today, right, and you're going to be the offensive fencer, so Dave's actually going to be the coach, kind of, he'd be the coach, really, and I start out, I'm just going to do it easy, I'm going to start out this way, and I'm going to step forward, and I'm going to let him parry, he's going to stop. Oh, good. And then he comes out, and I find the blade, and then you go slow. And you start, and he parries, and he comes out, and you parry again, so go slower. Just parry and stop. There's the parry, he comes out, I find the blade again. Better, the slower you go, the better. So let's let these guys see it down here.